Alright, lesson 1, operations with integers. So I'm going to begin with the first operation, which is addition. So the addition rules are, if they're the same sign, you add both numbers and you keep the sign. Now if they're different signs, what you do is you subtract the bigger number minus the smaller number and keep the sign of the bigger number. And I've laid out some examples already down here. So for example, if you have -2 plus -3, both of these are negative, so they get the negative. Sorry about that. Negative, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Because they're the same sign, I get to add the numbers. Usually I recommend just doing the numbers first, then write the sign. So, number 2. Again, positive and positive. We already know that 5 plus 2 is 7. But let's say we're going to just do it by the rule. 5 plus 2 is 7. They're both positive, so the 7 gets the positive. Now, if you do something like this, -7 plus 2, they're different signs, of course. So you have to take the bigger number, which is 7, minus the small number, which is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Sign of the bigger number is negative. 7 is negative, so the answer is -5. And similarly, if we do this, now the bigger number is positive, so my answer is going to be positive. 4 and 3 are different signs, so 4 minus 3 is 1. Positive 4 plus -3 is positive 1. Now this is addition, and now you might ask yourself, what about subtraction? Well, if we look at the rules for subtraction, all we're really going to do is just use keep, change to change a subtraction problem into an addition problem. Now, you don't really need any rule after that because you already know how to add. So let's turn these subtraction problems into addition problems. So the first one, I have +7 minus +3. Well, that's the same thing as writing +7 plus -3. Did keep, change. Keep the +7, change the subtraction to addition, and change the positive to a negative. And now, we already know 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 is positive, so the answer is positive 4. And then here we do the same thing. This becomes -8 plus +2. 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 is bigger and it has a negative, so it's -6. And one more time, this is positive. Keep, change. This is going to be +5 plus +1. 5 plus 1 is 6. And that's pretty much how you would do subtraction. It's just an extra step just to turn into an addition problem, and then from there, once you know how to add, you can do all of these addition and subtraction of integers. Alright, now that we've done addition and subtraction, we go to the next two operations, which is multiplication rules and division. Because multiplication and division go together, addition and subtraction go together. Well, it doesn't matter. There's no extra step really for division right now, unless we're dealing with fractions, but we'll do that in a later video. But for now, we're just dealing with integers. So whether it's multiplication or division, if they're the same sign and you're multiplying or dividing them, the answer is going to be positive. If they're different signs, the answer will be negative. So how I deal with these problems is I'm going to take the numbers and multiply them first, and then I'll deal with the sign afterwards. So again, this is a +2. So 2 times 3 is 6. Positive times a negative is a negative because they're different signs, so it's negative. And -4 times -2, well, 2 times 4 is 8. They're both the same sign. Negative times negative is a positive, so it's +8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. It's written as a fraction, but it means division. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. And positive 6 divided by positive 2 is just 3. And of course it's positive 3 because they're the same sign. Now some other operations that you might run into is the absolute value. This symbol here is denotes absolute value. And this is used as a parentheses where the operation inside is performed and then makes whatever inside positive. So, for example, the absolute value of negative 3 would just be a positive 3. Whatever's inside becomes positive. Absolute value of positive 3 is also going to be positive 3. It doesn't change a positive, it only changes the negatives to positive. Negative 2 plus 5, the same thing as saying absolute value of positive 3 because we know that negative 2 plus 5 from the addition rule is positive 3. Absolute value of positive 3 is just 3. And here, let's do it with multiplication. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Absolute value of negative 24 is just 24. Positive. And here, 3 plus 2 is 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5, but this negative makes our answer negative 5. You apply the absolute value first on whatever's inside, and then the negatives outside, you multiply it. It's like multiplying by negative 1. So it's negative 5 is your answer. And for now, this is all we'll be doing. This is pretty much the fundamentals, how to add numbers together using addition and subtraction. Subtraction, you just do keep change. And for multiplication division, it's fairly simple. Same sign is positive, different sign is negative. And absolute values are parentheses that turn whatever's inside into positives. And that's it for lesson 1. And I will continue with fractions in lesson 2.